Say hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Momentum Studio. We are on live in 4 different places, bringing you guys Momentum TV. I'm Tessa. I'm a marketing strategist, and I have Kai, who is a Momentum coach over at Success All Day. And we have 2 very awesome guests in our back studio right now. We're excited to bring them in, but I'm going to let Kai kind of lay the backstory. This is a coaching quickie live.
Yes, so guys, welcome. It has been that kind of week. Now, you guys saw our live last week where it was just me in a dark room. At least today we have light, and there's 2 of us. So it's you know, when you're business, sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. We are the perfect example of that. So that being said, today we have an awesome guest. We have Cindy Ashton. If you don't know Cindy Ashton, you need to check her out. She's on LinkedIn. She's on all the things. And she is, number one, she's a singer, a performer, has been on all of the things, like, honest to God, you guys. So it's so crazy that she's so kind and she's showing up here today. And she's actually going to be leading our coaching quickie with Meg Campbell, who is a member of our WEN group. And she, we met her through the WEN because that's where this goes live typically. And she is actually going to be doing her coaching quickie with Cindy Ashton today. After that, Cindy's going to be doing a training with us. And my brain just went blank.
No, we'll pop Cindy in real quick and she'll tell us a little bit about the training that we're going to do. So.
Hey, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. Hello.
Hello. So Cindy, like I said, like Kai said, she was giving Cindy's background story, but Cindy, tell us a little bit more about what you do now, just as an intro, and then we're going to pull Megan and really get rolling.
Yeah, so I started out as a performing artist and has performed a gazillion different places. And for the last 20 plus years, I've been a presentation trainer, and I'm super excited to be here today because everyone's gone virtual, whether they like it or not. And how are you converting sales online? And it's actually not about the conversion, but I'm going to get into that today in terms of if you're doing video, if you're doing social media posts, how do you present yourself online effectively so you can convert? And you'll see why I do that later.
Well, if you're watching us live, hashtag live. If you're watching us on the replay, which I know is a lot of our base, hashtag replay, and we want to be interactive with you. So if you're in our audience, we can't see you until you comment. So don't just sit there and watch. We want to see you and engage with you and answer questions. So if you do have a question throughout this whole process during the training or while we're doing our coaching quickie, let us know in the comments and we'll get them answered as quickly, as much as possible during our 1 hour that we have online today. So the question, it's a really great question. I'm going to bring in Meg though, and then we can talk about this question and do the coaching quickie. So hi, Meg.
Guys.
And Meg's over on WEN, on Women's Entrepreneur Network. I know we have, we have such a dynamic 4 of us here. So the question that you asked is, how do I convert sales online? Which, like Cindy said, now we're all virtual. So how can we be more efficient and strategic about what we're doing online? So I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Meg, first of all, thank you for being so brave, because I think it takes a lot of courage to be willing to be out there to a potential of millions of people who could end up watching this over time and go, oh, I'm willing to be coached. So, so understand that everything that comes from me to you is all love. And I might burst out into song at some point just because I'm known for that. But everything I say is because I want you to succeed. So we're going in this with a super positive, happy mindset. But congratulations, though, just for being so brave for being here.
Thank you.
Yes. And so this background story, a little bit about what you've been doing so far, Meg. You've been selling, you have a website, you have Facebook, you have a couple of things going on right now, but it's not working. Is that right? It's just not generating enough?
Exactly. I can close a sale face-to-face with people, but I can show them to people all day long online. I can talk about how amazing they are, what you can use them for, why pick solar over electric or battery operated, but the ability to close that sale is so small.
Right. And so one thing that was working for you prior to the COVID crazies was going to the big shows, craft fairs, things like that, because then you could have that conversation with people. But now you've had to switch completely online. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. And that is Cindy's genius. So we're going to, I mean, Tessa, are we good? Can we hand it over to her?
Yes, I think we can.
Pretty little thing sitting here. And
we'll be here for entertainment purposes.
Oh my gosh. No, I would love for you to kind of jump in, because I would love to see Meg rise up in this session together. So first of all, coming from a performing background, I don't understand sales. And that sounds really weird given how successful I am. Because as a performer, and this is going to link back, it's not about trying to sell somebody, it's about connecting with your audience on an authentic level. Because when you do that, they buy into it. So if you think about your favorite Broadway musical or your favorite movie, you know, like I think about Princess Bride, it's still one of my favorite movies of all time, right? My name is Inigo Montoya. I killed your father. Okay. Anybody want a peanut? Sorry. Oh, but the best was marriage.
She's really good.
Megan,
I know that movie. I know that movie oh
when
so
you
well.
watch one of your favorite movies like The Princess Bride, they're not trying to go, hey, look at me, I'm a sword fighter. Do you like my sword fighting? Right? It's a show, don't tell. You see them interacting, you see them sword fighting, and it makes you want to be part of the battle. You know, it's a show, don't tell. And we get engaged because they're creating a story that develops a connection, which makes us buy that box office ticket, which makes us tell 10, 20, 30 million of our friends, which then goes and does this. And this is the biggest problem I see in the business world, is that y'all aren't, no, I'm not American, but y'all aren't, oh God, I can't do accents, but y'all aren't like artists. Because I have people say, I don't want to work with an artist as a coach. I'm like, you probably want to for this reason. Because as a performing artist, it's about connection and loving and caring for your audience and not trying to sell them. Because when you develop that emotional connection, you will believe that Anthony Hopkins really is Hannibal Lecter. Eating people. Like, if somebody can pull off eating people on screen and we believe him and we buy into that, like, really, right? So Meg, you and just about majority of people that I'm seeing online who are really struggling are doing the tell without the show, don't tell. You want to show people and you want to create an experience. And I'm going to give some examples on yours of how you can up level it, because when people feel like they're connected to you, then it becomes really easy to buy. So I remember a few years ago, I was in this store and the woman who was selling these $8 muffins. Now, anybody that knows me, okay, just wait for it. I'm extremely frugal. I am a very frugal person. I spend money on my business and my health. I do not, right? Like, I am very frugal. I don't go out shopping for tons of clothes. Like, so this woman though, within 3 minutes, I was buying an $8 muffin that was good, but not that great. Because she knew how to make a connection with me on an emotional level and speak to me, which is what I'm going to help you with, Meg, and everybody watching.
I love it. I love it.
I'm bored right now.
But here's the thing is that if you think about the greatest brands in the world, they bring you in with an experience. So when you think about Nike, have you ever gone into a Nike store or at this point shopped online and thought, well, I'm buying Nike because look at the strength of their soles? Why do you three think, or I'm going to challenge Meg with this, and it's okay if you don't have the right answer, but why do you think people buy from Nike?
Because Nike has positioned themselves to be the top. When you think Nike, you think athletics.
All right, good. We're almost there. What Nike has done is created an experience of victory. They are creating a tribe of people who want to be champions. When I think about Reeboks, right? I don't shop Reeboks because they don't feel sexy enough to me.
True.
Right? And that's not good or bad. Or if you talk about, like Kai was talking about her little mishap with American Airlines last week, or not American Airlines. Well, she had a ticket for AA, but they actually weren't flying anymore. But if you look at the difference between American Airlines and Delta, last year I flew both. When I sat on American Airlines, they try to do diversity, and diversity is one of my core values. And I was actually appalled by it because it was very thoughtless the way that they did it. But Delta had this beautiful 1-minute video full of diversity and unity and connection, all my core values that looked like they spent 200 hours to put together. And I was like, I'm flying Delta again because they have my core values. So we have to start thinking more than just, hey, look at these beautiful lanterns. They are beautiful. We need to start thinking of what is important to our customers, right? So if I think about myself as a presentation trainer for over 20 years, 90% of my clients have been dog lovers. I rarely get a cat person. I don't like cats, although I am more of a dog person. They're dog lovers, they're world travelers, or philanthropists. Like there's just certain, they all have families for the most part. There's a certain type of values, and it doesn't make it right or wrong. But when I look at your posts, Meg, and so many others, and I'm going to give you examples, I don't see the range in there in terms of what's going to draw people in aside from the lanterns. So if you look at some people's, like, you don't want to only be posting about the lanterns, which you don't, but you really want to think of what's the experience I'm giving people, what's the values and what's important to my people. Because if you found that most of your customers in your area, because you've been doing local and at this point you're doing bigger, but let's say you find that a lot of your customers are baseball fanatics, you should be posting occasionally about baseball, for example.
That makes sense.
Right? So, and then you want to start creating stories with what you do. So let's actually make this real world and start to look at this and how the heck do we apply this? Because here's the thing that's interesting. Is that, like I said, I'm not sales trained. I certainly have learned stuff along the way as a business person, but people buy from me because they trust me because they have an experience with me, right? And that's where we want to go. So I am just going to screen share for a moment.
Yes. As soon as I see it, I will put it up on the screen for you. Right. There we go. Okay.
So if we look at your Facebook, I love this. Do you sleep with the lights on and off? I love this because you're asking an engaging question. And the more that you ask engaging questions, the more that people want to interact with you. And then your algorithm, you stay higher in the algorithms. People want to feel seen, loved, and heard and not sold to. And Meg, you're not trying to, you don't come across as salesy, but I'm just saying this is a general teaching moment. So the only thing is you didn't write anything here. And I would love to have, I want to know who Meg is. I want to be able to connect with you, Meg. So I would love something like, okay, everybody, 2 a.m. I woke up, I heard the turkeys outside. I don't know if you live in a farm or not. I'm just making this up. All right, walking, 2 a.m, can't get back to bed. What's the point? And, and just relate it back to the post, right? So turkeys woke me up at 2 a.m. I don't know why I'd even bother to turn the lights off because I'm one of those that sleeps with the lights off. There was no point because I was awake with those squawking turkeys. But it really made me think there are some people that actually love sleeping with their lights on. What are you? Are you an on or an offer? That's not perfect. But can you see how that starts to, people go, oh my God, that's hilarious. She got woken up at 2 a.m. by a turkey squawking, and they don't squawk.
Right, that makes perfect sense. Let's just post the graphic, more tell why the graphic's up.
Yeah.
So just even your personality is coming through it, right? So seeing more of you in what you're doing, because it's not, you're not just selling the lanterns, you're selling you in your business.
Makes sense.
Yeah, people want to know you on a personal level, especially right now. People are feeling very discombobulated and stressed and not knowing, uncertain in the world. They want to feel connection to other human beings more than ever. So the only thing I warn against is don't share stuff that you're not comfortable sharing or that's private information.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
You'd be amazed.
I probably wouldn't, but yeah.
No, I don't think you would. But then I love this. Describe this solar lantern in one word. You could also say, okay, give this lantern a name, which is another thing. And the best name wins a prize. Or my favorite, or the one that I love the most is going to win a lantern shipped to them or something. Like you can do different contests, get engagement that way. Okay. I love that you had something, self-confidence is a superpower. And I love that magic starts happening. That's starting to give me an insight into your beliefs, which is important because I want to be in alignment with people that I'm going to buy from. So that was a really good, Meg. I just want more storytelling. So I would love who have you sold this to? Can they tell their story of where this lantern, start to do customer.
I do struggle getting customer reviews. And I mean, I ask, but I generally don't get them.
So, well, it's funny.
Are they willing to take a picture of their lantern and where they put it in the house? Or to be honest, I don't know where I would put a lantern because I live in New York in a little place. But I don't know what you do with lanterns because they're beautiful and I really like them. But if I wouldn't know what to do with this if I bought it. I think that's where I'm also stuck right now.
So one thing I would say is you have to sometimes tell people what you want them to do. So for example, with the party boxes, constantly in the email, in the paper that you get, we're like, please share this, take a picture. You're literally telling them what to do.
Yes.
Take a picture of where this is and tag us. So sometimes it doesn't have to be hey, give me 10, because people get intimidated when you ask for testimonies. I know, people will text me and they'll email me and they're like, I love you and thank you so much. As soon as I ask for a testimony, it's I don't know what to say. I'm like, just what you just said.
I'll take it down for you.
To show a picture, because it's easy, right? So even that in itself, somebody taking a picture of where they hung their lantern is a testimony in and of itself. So think of it like friction. The more friction you remove, so the harder something is to get somebody to do, you have to make it as easy as possible. Remove the friction. So whatever barriers are getting in their way, you need to remove it. So if they're not going to give you testimonies, that's okay. Take a picture, hashtag whatever, at whatever, and I'll share your posts on my Instagram so there's also a give and take, right?
Okay.
And sometimes it's as simple as, I would really love it if you did this because it would really help my business to grow. Sometimes, so do a couple of different asks, see what works with your audience and go from there, right? So don't give up on asking, just change what you're doing until you find the mistakes. And please don't change it after one email.
Don't give up.
To see what works. And see, you know what I mean? If one person doesn't do it, doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that person maybe didn't have time or
sorry. You said time in my
we had a little dance break. Just
a little music break.
I am 100% with you. And you could even call somebody up and say, hey, I know that your shipment arrived last week. I'm really curious, first of all, I just want to give you a personal phone call. It's a $15 product. But still, just to say, hey, listen, just wanted to do personal, where did you end up putting it in your house? How are you using this? And would you mind taking a picture, post it on social media, tag me, that kind of thing? Because right now you have a small following. It's not terribly small, but it's small. And we want to grow that following, but we also have to grow it with hashtags, which is where I was going to go next.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So, but you want to hear people's stories because they might say, oh yeah, I put the lantern here and we love how it's lighting up, or we love how it's saving energy, and we love how this, and then you could say, hey, would you mind taking a picture of the lantern? Do you mind if I just share it and share your story? And then you say, hey, just talk to Kai, and she put this lantern outside on her deck and they're saving a lot. Not only are they loving that it's solar and that they're helping the planet, but it's really cute because they're two little twins at 2 years old, keep trying to jump up to get it. And then it becomes a really fun, engaging story. And people don't just see this really cute lantern. They're like, I want a cute lantern that my 2-year-old twins are going to go after. It's about show, don't tell. And I know I've said that many times, but I want to keep reiterating it to make it really an experience for people.
It's about the emotional connection, right? So a lot of times we don't buy what we need. So I might need a light in my kids' room because they cry at night or whatever it is, right? But what I want is to know that my kid is going to be able to sleep well. What I want is to know that they're going to be comforted. So when somebody shares that story, like, hey, I bought this lamp and it was so awesome because now that was the first time my kids slept through the night. Then I've connected because that's what I want. It's not the need. Like, I know I need to. We all know we need to lose weight. We all know we need to start eating healthier. We need, but none of us care until it's what we want. And that's how we connect.
Brilliant.
Getting into what they want and stop telling them what they need. Right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before I just want to say hi, Shanna, and anyone else who's like Leticia. We have people
Oh my God,
that are watching
so
this
many comments coming
live,
in.
and so I just wanted to make sure we're just peeking back there. And if you guys are watching us, share out this post if you can. If you're watching us from the Momentum Studio page, you can share it out, or tag a couple people that need to know what to do with online sales right now, because that's our question. And we have you. I think maybe. Cindy, do you have some secrets to hashtagging that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I was going to go there in a second. But my question for you, Meg, because I actually don't know, like, I am so urban. Very environmental, and like, I actually don't know what you do. I can imagine the difference between electrical and solar, but I, as somebody, can't be a buyer. Like, I love really cool things, but I can't buy your lantern because I actually don't know what the lanterns are for.
Okay. Well, let's see.
So,
and
I love these, though.
I'm a person that could be a potential customer, but I'm being left out because I'm like, oh, they're cute, and I don't see how it applies to me, which is part of the storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is Frankie. Frankie's got the same look on his face that we all do right now.
True.
But the beautiful thing with these is they're small, they're compact. These will light up an entire room. My daughter uses one for a night light, and it lights up her entire room at night. They have a solar panel on the lid, so as long as they get a couple hours of direct sunlight every day, they recharge a little rechargeable battery that stores in the power from the solar panel. And the other fun thing for kids is I use Cool Touch LEDs. So this jar never gets hot. What's the number one fear with a lamp? They're going to unplug it or they're going to grab the light bulb.
That's
The
true.
number one fear with a candle is it's hot, they're going to grab it. These stay completely cool to the touch. They never get hot.
See, I want to see this on your social media.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
think
would
that's
have never
benefit.
wanted to get myself a lantern. I was like, well, I don't have an outdoor space. I'm in New York and I don't need a lantern. They're cute. But now I'm like, oh, I'm not a kid, but maybe she has one that's more for adults and they're cute. And I can have one in my bathroom. So when I go at night, I don't have to, like, I'm now having thoughts about this. So they were already getting contact. So
I
let's
think
talk
that they're really big on weddings too. I think you could definitely use those for like wedding decorations, make them very elegant or very simple.
I'm
And
going to reach out to a local event planner and ask her if I can provide her with like half a dozen or so for her space. So when she's showing the space, they're there.
perfect. And like a little card or a business card or a tag around the outside that's the actual information. Sorry, I know, Kai, we have to keep on the time schedule.
I want to talk about hashtags in your Instagram. So let's flip over to your Instagram for a second. So right now, Meg, I would love, you've already got your name in your URL, in your username. I would love for you to have something here. Now, right now, you're not going out and doing fairs or anything like that, so you wouldn't use location. But this right here is a prime place for real estate, good real estate. Okay. So I would love, like, what are the SEO? And again, this is so not my area. I usually have like speakers and coaches as my clients. So Meg, help me out here. What would people be Googling if they're looking for unique and fun stuff? Or if they're looking for something that's more environmental, like what would they be Googling? What would be your top like SEO
And you just found my major weakness is I don't understand SEO and how to make it work for me.
Okay.
It's an educational thing, but right now I'm trying to stick with like solar lanterns, mason jar decor, unique lighting, indoor, outdoor lighting.
Okay. Stop. That's enough. You actually just gave me what I needed. So you could totally do Meg Campbell, solar lighting or indoor lighting, indoor, outdoor lighting. And then you could bullet point these down. Instead of saying add fun and unique lighting to the dark world we live in. I actually kind of love that, but I would love for you to come up, use an emoji. You could just go to getomoji.com and like emoji, like indoor, bam, use an emoji of like a star, indoor and outdoor lighting. The next emoji is a heart. I don't know. I'm just making this up. And then it says something like solar lighting. The next emoji is so that you actually have your keywords in your name here, and that you have this piece here bullet pointed. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Instagram is a weakness for me. All I it for was to look at the
well, you've already gotten like 1,000 followers. You're on your way, woman.
Yeah, that's really good.
I want to celebrate you. Like I feel like you've done so great, and look at how fantastic these are. They're beautiful. Like look at how beautiful this one is. Look at that. I just love it.
Great shots. Yeah,
it's so cute. I love these.
Like resting witch face that I saw on your
That's a custom order, and I just shipped it today, so I don't have it like pick up and go, oh, look how cute.
Yeah.
I love it. But I think you're doing, so maybe you're not the actual buy. So I know that there's a lot about getting people to your site, and then you have to actually convert them. So I love personally on a website when they have like the get your discount code. It's like a wheel you spin to see if you're going to get a deal. Like that actually converts a lot when they're like, I'm going to win something and this wheel is spinning around, you know? So I feel like some of the products that have really done well on those, maybe it's like you get something free, and I know you have like your vinyl, you know, you may get another vinyl option or something like that. So like maybe entice them. And before they leave your website, make sure you have a way of collecting their information. Like we do a drawing once a month for a lantern. So send, you know, put your contact info, because they could come to your website, not decide, they're not giving your contact info, you're never going to nurture and close them. So those are my little tidbits, but I'm a nerd that way.
I really appreciate that, because I'm really focusing on the reason why she's not getting engagement, because until she gets engagement, it's going to be hard to convert.
So true. You got to get them to your door.
Now you've given the other piece. So I want to do hashtags because we've got 1 minute left. So right now I put in solar lighting, hashtag solar lighting. There's only 11,000 posts. This is not popular. I wouldn't use that as a hashtag.
Okay.
And I wouldn't use it as an SEO, because I don't think that people are, I mean, I don't know that people are really looking for that. But are they looking for indoor lighting? Let's see. Now we've got 63,000, so that's better. I would use that as a hashtag because it's small enough that you're going to get some people, like you don't have as much competition. But let's say
that does make sense.
Right. So if I just go to lighting, this is 12 million. That's too big, right? But if we go down, lighting designer, lighting design, these have smaller numbers that you have a better lighting ideas. Write that one down. Lighting ideas would be perfect for you. And it's pretty big, but it's not big, but it's smaller, but it's not too small. I think you're going to have a lot of success with lighting ideas, right? Okay. Let's see what arts and crafts. So you just want to go through all these different things and see. Arts and crafts for kids has 28,000. It's too small. You want to stay above, but then 2 million or 3 million is too high. So maybe arts and crafts isn't right, but you just have to kind of play around with, mason jars is something you said that has 500,000. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I found that like solar fairy lights, because the actual lights that I use are considered to be the fairy lights, because they're the tiny little LEDs on the wire. So they're considered to be fairy lights. Solar fairy lights seems to bring me a lot of people.
Perfect. So you just need to build that in.
Yeah. So start looking for hashtags and do a variety. So start looking for some for like kids' bedroom. Look up hashtags around kids' bedroom. Look up hashtags around being environmental, anything about environment. anything about arts and crafts. So just start to play around and then just start to look at the insights of every single post you do. Like I'm finding there's ones around success, and I would have never thought to use success for my posts, but it literally brought me in an additional 84 viewers on my post last night. And I've tested it out on 2 of my posts. So you kind of have to test it out and then look at the insights. But that's a really fast way for you to start to build up your Instagram faster is by using the right hashtags and using story. And I'm going to stop with the show don't tell. I've said it enough times.
Okay. So I apologize. I'm over here like the timekeeper in the chat.
She is.
I was wrapping up. That's why.
You're so cute.
I just want to kind of give us a summary. So obviously it's about connection. It's about showing people what they want rather than what they need. It's a storytelling, and then also getting into your hashtags. So, and asking those customers, hey, can you just take a picture? And right now you have a small enough base where you can call them. Right. And that's the beautiful thing, because as you get bigger, that's not possible. But when you're small, you can have that intimate connection, and that creates more of a buzz with your customers. Like, wow, that was so sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely take that picture for you. It just creates something, and being okay if they say, that's okay. Like that. Hey, that's all good. Thanks. Thank you for purchasing. That's it. Right. And then the last thing that we had, there was a comment here from Leticia, and it says, do customers get a note to share the lantern with their purchase? So that's what we do, right? We have a little note in the box. So when you open it, it's like, hey, do this, please. Like doing just something simple like that, and you have all of them. It's something you print out one time, put into a box. Right. Thank you so much for your purchase. I really appreciate you. Would you mind sharing this, blah, 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 hashtag solar fairy lights or lighting?
Right. And that would be an easy ad for me because I already include the instructions.
There you go.
With the lantern. So, I mean, it's half a line on the bottom of the page.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just want to do a little promo for you, Meg. I'm going to put your link up there, and please go check it out. This is my niece's room, and I am absolutely going to pick out one wherever her little nightstand is over there and put one in here for her because she would just love it. So check out megcampbelldesigns.com, and then on Facebook, we have Meg Campbell Designs over there. Follow her and let her know that Momentum Studio sent you over just so she can see that we want her to get more business for sure and close more sales. So we're here for you, of course. Obviously, even though we let you out of this room, Meg, you can come back to us anytime and let us know how we can help. So
put me out the door. We're done. Bye.
No. You know, you've been to our parties. You know how it goes. So we're gonna let you go, and Cindy's gonna do her training. So if you're with us, hang out, stay with us, don't leave. Thank you, Meg. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Meg. You did awesome.
Very, very good. If you guys,
I love her product. It's beautiful.
Oh, I do too. If you're interested in being coached, hashtag coach me in our chat, and we will get you on as well as we. Oh yes, Kai's like.
No. I just wanted to remind people that next week we have Cindy's business bestie, Christina, and she is doing the PR side. So if you guys have any marketing PR questions, next week is the week. So drop your questions below or go to the momentumstudio.com/ask.
Yep, ASK.
You can sign up for the coaching quickie. We would love to get somebody on for that because, hey, this is the best time to be actually able to sit and talk with somebody about a question you have who is a professional and knows what they're talking about. Guys, I know that it's hard. Do it anyway. You guys
Let's do it.
believe in you, okay? So definitely sign up for that. But now we get to dive in to
So today's all about how do you actually monetize from video, and I will not tell you to do storytelling anymore because we've already talked about that. But I want to actually start with 4 reasons why your virtual presentations are not converting. And this is for webinars, but it's the same principle for all of your marketing, or if you're doing a live stream, or if you're doing even just a short little video. So I was inspired to write this post last month because I signed up for this webinar for this guy, and I was super excited because it was something that I actually really wanted. And he totally lost my business within the first minute. And I tried to stay on as long as I could, but I couldn't. And then I wrote a blog about it, and we'll give you the link to it if you want to see it. But essentially, I'm just going to go through it. The first thing that he did, which I think your group probably doesn't do this, but sometimes people in your group might get sucked into this, but he was using outdated sales tactics. I was ready to throw up. This guy was an artist talking about how to promote music and make money off of your music, right? And he was so it was so obvious that he was a good, honest man who was trying to follow a script and trying to follow a formula. And I just couldn't tolerate it. It was so outdated. And more than ever, we got to stop with that stuff around, hey, yes and yes. Everybody who here wants more money, yes or yes. I'm like, ew, just stop that, right? It's like nobody wants to hang out with a porcelain doll or a slimy salesperson. The truth is especially right now with COVID and everybody's extra sensitive and we're dealing with a lot, people do not have the tolerance like they used to for that push selling nonsense. So the fix to that is your presentation needs to build in content pieces where you connect with the audience on a real and authentic level. People want to feel cared for and like they matter.
It's huge.
If you feel like you're cared for, people will buy from you. Because here's the truth. Any presentation that you do, a video, a live stream, any of those pieces, you want people, the purpose of it is to have them trust you, to have them like you, and believe that they can actually be successful with you. And when they have those three things in place, then you don't have to do a hard sale. So that's the first one. Don't do any outdated sales tactics. And the only reason why I'm telling this audience, which I know is a very authentic audience, is because I've seen a lot of you go and hire these really weird sales coaches, and then you feel inauthentic and you want to throw up like this poor musician is, and then he doesn't convert. The second thing is that you're wasting the audience's time. You're wasting the audience's time. And so in this presenter's case, he took 35 minutes to get to the content because he was doing all that sales nonsense setup. And his whole presentation was 2 hours and 35 minutes with very little value. And I'm going to tell you why it wasn't valuable. I don't know about you, but for me to trust you and like you and believe I can get results, if you've just wasted my time, how do I know you're not going to, it's going to question if I can really if you can really deliver results to me, if I'm going to be paying for sessions and you're wasting my time, right? So by wasting your audience's time, it completely breaks the trust for them to buy for you. So here's a fix. Tell your audience in advance both the time commitment to attend whatever you're doing and what insights they're going to gain so that they're prepared to learn and engage instead of them sitting there being frustrated and waiting for the good stuff that may never come. So even if it's a 2-minute video, I put on a 2-minute video yesterday where I've already gotten a client from it. It was a 2-minute video and it wasn't salesy, but I just said something to the effect of, you know what, if you've got a vocal fry, it actually makes you sound less meek, or it makes you sound really meek, and that doesn't make people trust you and want to buy from you. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is a vocal fry? I'm Cindy Ashton. Stay with me for 2 minutes, and I will tell you what that is, how to fix it, and that's it. And then I went into what the heck a vocal fry is, and I said, if you're not sure if you have this issue or not in your voice, book a complimentary 15-minute call with me, and I got a few calls just off of this little 2-minute video. But I set it up with, here's what the problem, here's my hook, here's the problem. I'm only going to ask you to be with me for 2 minutes. And I didn't really, and my call to action at the end was just so like, if you feel like you want to go further, book a 15-minute assessment with me. Happy to do an assessment about your voice. Like, I didn't have to do more than that. So the fix for you is just really make sure that you tell them in advance that commitment and what they're going to gain from this. And then when you deliver on that promise, you've just built trust. Okay. Number 3, the content is not consumable. This is a big problem with Tessa and Kai. This is a big problem with your audience because your audience are really authentic. They're service driven. They're love bugs, and they really want to do well for their clients. But what they end up doing is they end up over delivering content. And when you over deliver too much content, what happens is either people feel really overwhelmed, and overwhelmed people won't buy because they're going to think, wow, that was really great, but I don't know that I could be successful. It just felt like so much. How do I be successful? By the way, I have this issue, even though I teach it. Because I do, I mean, because I have so much content. But if people feel overwhelmed by your content, they won't feel like they could be successful with you, so they're not going to buy. Or they feel like they got so much information that they don't actually need you. So
say that again. What's number 3? Because I'm putting them all in the chat.
Content not consumable.
Content's not consumable.
Now, in the case of this webinar or this thing that I was on that was 2.5 hours that I did not stay the whole time for, his problem with his content is that he did not layer it in a way that addressed the different learning and behavioral styles. So the way I'm very mathematical and process driven, and I needed him to bullet out what he was saying, and I couldn't process it, and I stopped listening and I tuned him out. And again, it broke trust that I wouldn't, if he can't speak to my learning and behavior style in a way that I understand, I don't believe that I can have success with him. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to, oh my gosh, I just had a total brain fart.
It's hard to follow.
Right. So how do you actually fix this? It's about providing your audience with insights, right? So when they have ahas into the root of the problem or how they could reach their desires, then they realize that they need a path to a solution, and that's you. So if you think about my 2-minute video that brought me a client yesterday and a few consults, I talked about the vocal fry, and and they went, oh my God. And when I demonstrated it, people were like, oh God, I hope I don't sound like that. So I gave them insight into why they may be brilliant at sales, but not converting. And that made them go, wow, it might actually be my voice. That's a great insight. But there's no way in 2 minutes I can teach them 30 years of training that I've had at this point in voice. They need to book a consult and work with me. So you're still delivering value, but you're not giving away everything either. You're giving them the path.
Yeah, you're giving them the what. Is that right, Kai? I always say this. I give them the what, but not the how. They need to talk to you to get the how, and then build that relationship.
or sometimes I'll give people the first step of that how. Like, here's a first step. If you need deeper help, if you're not sure, because even right now, I'm going through the 4 things that you need to do. But some of you listening are going, I don't know how to weave that together. Cindy, can I hire you? Right? So it probably makes sense to people, and I'm giving you a lot of insight, and I am giving you fixes. But for a lot of people, they don't know how to put that all together in a presentation. Yeah. Number 4, his thing lacked engagement. He literally was like a talking head. I was dying. I was so angry. I was like, this is wasting my time. I'm getting off. I was done after 35 minutes. I can't believe I lasted that long. And the thing is that this guy is really sweet. He just had probably spent $10,000 or $20,000 on some sales guru that was outdated from 30 years ago. So here's the thing, is that you have to be connecting with your audience. And right now people are having a lot of Zoom fatigue. So it's super, and by the way, I have not done this today. I have not modeled this for you. I probably should have. I'm so sorry. You want to be able to ask engaging questions. Like if I went back to number 1, outdated sales tactics, what I should have done, see, I'm critiquing myself right now, is say, hey, put in the comments right now, how many of you being turned off by a slimy salesperson or by slimy sales tactics? Yes or no? Right? So I totally missed modeling that.
It's so hard when we put you on the spot. We're like, hey, Cindy, do it. Well, that's interesting, though, asking engaging questions, getting the audience to comment. So, hey, guys, since you're watching us, why don't you, Cindy, you might as well throw something out for our audience right now.
So let me ask you this. If you're doing presentations right now, are you going through your presentation and deliberately mapping out engaging questions for your audience? Type Y or N in the comments. See, I just did it.
There we go.
You should probably do that. It's like I know to do it, but every time we get into it, we're like so into it that I forget to ask anything. But so we're guilty.
Yep, guilty.
Oh my God, that is so funny. But nobody's engaging. Nobody's saying yes or no.
Oh, no. It's okay. People catch up with us too. And since Facebook changed a lot, and now StreamYard isn't as connected. So there's a big delay in StreamYard. If you're trying to, by the time you are ready to hop off, then you'll get all these people that are like, yes. So,
oh God. So
it's just how it goes.
But but you want to start to plan out ways you can have engagement, because when you have engagement, people, first of all, it gets them out of the Zoom fatigue. Yes, I hate slime tactics. Well done, Meg. Like right now. But it's not just it's not just trying to prevent the Zoom fatigue and people doing the scroll nation thing, but you want to get a pulse on people. So and you want people to feel like they're being seen and heard. So when you ask engaging questions, it starts conversations. And when people feel like they have a voice, they trust you more because they feel like, wow, she or he has heard me. So that are my 4 steps. There you have it. Any questions?
4 steps. Good job. No, actually, I think I love that you're not. So just to recap in case, because I had a couple people that just popped in that weren't on here before. So don't use old sales tactics. Don't waste the audience time for number 2. Number 3, don't use content that is not consumable. I should say the opposite of that. Make sure your content is consumable. And then make sure you're asking engaging questions and that it's not lacking engagement, because that's when people stick around and really connect. It's a connection time. Like we can't connect with anybody anymore. So we got to have that dialogue back and forth.
Well, and that's what I love about your momentum parties. For anybody watching, you have to go to the momentum parties, because to me, I was actually on the Positive Polarity podcast today, and I actually talked about you too for everyone to check it out, because I was talking about as an example of what the ultimate engagement looks like. So what I loved about your momentum party is that I registered and you immediately made it fun for me. And given that everyone's stressed right now, we want to have fun. Then I got this amazing little box full of sparkles and goodies and some mud thing that I can't figure out how to use. I'm not crafty. Clearly, we've learned this earlier today. I like crafts and little fun things. I just don't know how to do them. Not my talent. But it was fun. I was like, oh, what else? I'm like, oh, and then they had actual props. So so all of a sudden I was like, I am totally showing up to this thing and I want to be there and then it was so much fun. And they broke us out into rooms and they did engaging questions and had us conversing. I mean, I met a lot of people where it's like, I would totally want to know more about these people. They're awesome. And I don't normally do that. And I'm a person that hates networking. I can't believe I just said that publicly.
That's it. That's what we want.
Because I've literally been speaking on stages for over 20 years. And when you are constantly flying here and there and you've got hundreds of people going, oh, and pulling at you. And I'm like, I can't network with all these people. Like, what can I just give to you and then leave me alone? Like, it's overwhelming. That sounds horrible. I love people. I just don't like crowds.
Right? This is a whole new
networking because I'm networked out by the time I'm done all my speaking gigs. But now speaking is gone. So I loved your momentum party because it was a great, it was so fantastic for the networking, but it was engaging. And then you did that, what's your personality, cat or dog? And we all got to vote. So you had us looking up this thing every minute. You had us engaged and energized. So even though it was 3 hours, we didn't feel like it was 3 hours because you had us engaged. And that, anybody that first of all wants to have a great time and learn a ton and have real connections, go. And anybody who doesn't give a shit about that stuff, but wants to have a successful event, go.
Thank you. We have so much fun. It's been, and we're so glad to have your energy there. You were definitely, you just have a presence in a room. So we enjoyed it so much. And it was a blast. Now that was our pitch party. And now we have the actual pricing party, a superhero pricing party coming up for October. So
sorry, I'm missing it.
That's okay. We do these every month, and we could be persuaded if enough people want to do an alternative date. We might be able to do something additional, but they are so much fun, and they're our baby. So it's kind of combining both what Kai and I do into one really fun party. And we do have some videos on our website, so you can check that out. But I know, Kai, you could go into a little bit more detail if you want. If we want to wrap things up with Cindy, we can just end with a little bit more about our party. But Cindy has something. Yes, she does. She has a gift.
I have a gift for everybody, like an actual course I'm giving you.
Yes. So I'm going to get the link.
So here's the deal. Christina Daves, who's an amazing PR strategist, you'll see her next week. The two of us paired up because people need the presentation messaging side. How do you present yourself online now that we have to stand out? And she's brilliant at hooks and messaging as well. But she is badass with getting people press. It's like every single client we've had within like a week or two, they get like national press. And I'm like, oh my God, the results we're getting. So we actually created a mini course called Captivate and Cash In. And we do sell it online, but we're going to give it to you for free if you fill out our marketing survey. It is a whopping 3 questions. It will take you less than a minute or 2 to do it. You answer 3 questions, you click on the button, and then you get a coupon code to go to get this mini course for free. So you're going to get in this mini course all these little videos that are digestible, 2 to 3 minutes each, that really helps you with how do you get engagement, how do you do a hook, how do you get PR, how do you have your own TV show. My TV show ended up having 74,000 viewers, landed me on red carpets at the Oscars. Like, we're teaching you all these amazing things in this mini course. So go to yourmarketingsurvey.com, fill out the 3 questions, you'll get your coupon code, and you can dive in right now at captivating and cashing in.
I love it. And this is packed with information. I know, Cindy, I know this has a ton of value and energy to it. So definitely go check that out. And I will put that in the chat as well, so you guys have that link handy for sure. But thank you so much, Cindy.
Go ahead, Kat. I mean, you two women are amazing. Thank you for having me. And thanks for everybody for watching, and Meg for being so brave. She was already on her way. Those small tweaks and she'll be flying now.
Yes. But hold on, before Cindy goes, I want you guys to know that, so today you guys saw Cindy. Next week you guys will meet Christina, and they're a dynamic duo. But then they're also going to be putting on a private webinar just for us, for whoever comes to the show and is watching this. So we want to just put that in your ear. We're going to have a link for you guys to sign up so that you guys can get reminder when it's happening. But that is going to be in November. So just as a heads up, you're going to have both of them on the webinar. Now, you've already seen how much she has given today in this 15-minute training, and then with Meg on her coaching Quickie, like, so you can only imagine what it's going to be like. So definitely be there. And I'm just putting this out there so all of you know, because we're going to have a link up and remind you that it's not today because it's in a month from today. But I just wanted to plant that seed. So we're being proactive. We just combine the best of the best. And these two ladies are, you'll see, when you guys come back, you know, between these two, it's gonna be a dynamic offering, and we just want to be part of it too. So we're happy to share it out for you. So thank you again, Cindy, for working with Meg. Thank you, like Cindy said, thank you for being brave, Meg. We appreciate you. If you want to do, any of you want to be coached, you can do #CoachMe, and we will get you on. If you want to do the PR one for next week, we have an opening. Otherwise, you can submit your questions for that one. Oh, this is going to be the hot seat, which is totally fine. I know. It's good. It's good. We can do it. Thank you, Cindy. We'll talk to you soon. I'm going to push you down, and then we'll... Thanks. Bye. All right. Kai, do you want to explain the pricing event before we have 5 minutes? And I just want to tell people about what we've got. Okay. So we have the pricing superpowers coming up. And that is, the deadline is this coming Monday, October 5th at midnight, basically. So you've got to sign up by then. And the reason that we close it early, because some people were like, I missed it. Why is it closed so early? Because we send you a swag box, and we want you to enjoy it before the party actually happens, so that you have the things that you need for the party, right? Because sometimes there's tools in there. In this one, you're going to get a beautiful Because I know how people like this. So this is what happened at the last party. At the end of the party, we're like, what did you guys love? And blah, blah. And one of the ladies was like, I went to the website and I didn't want to dress up. And she's like, oh my gosh, I got to dress up. And she's like, and then I dressed up and I felt so good. And then I showed up and that's why we do it. So please don't feel like I don't want to dress up, so I'm not going to go.
Right. And the funny thing is that she won best dressed at the event. And she's like, I don't want to do it. But then when she got into it, it's just, you got to do it. So we have on our website, if you do want to sign up, you can go to party.themomentumstudio.com. You can watch what we do, and we have testimonials. We have even more testimonials now, and we have a lovely one from Cindy that she gave us today about how amazing these events are. And it's so unique that you just can't I just can't explain it. But we have others. If this date doesn't work for you, we have branding, we have freebies, we have sexy sales guys. You could preemptively buy a ticket for one of the future ones if you already know you can't do that one date. So,
yes.
Or if you just need help with a specific area.
Every month is different, so we do not repeat it unless we get enough people that are asking. So just as a heads up, if we repeat it, it's probably going to be in 6 months to a year from now. So I know that some people were like, I'm so sad that we missed the pitch party, because that's really, how do you have that conversation now when we're at the post office and not be creepy? Right? And this next party is, how do we have that pricing conversation? Not your closing sales. Let's be very clear what the difference is, right? The pricing conversations is you're in casual conversation, and someone, I get this all the time. Oh my gosh, that sounds so amazing. How much do you charge? Like, how do you handle that with grace? And it's not because you just think all of a sudden, oh, I know how to have this. All of us get choked up. We say the wrong thing, or we make up a price, or we start discounting before we ever speak, right? I look at you and I'm like, what could she afford? Okay, let me take off 50% and tell her that. And I haven't even given her the opportunity to like have that conversation, see my value, all those things. So it's very important. We also, before, in the pre-party is where we do training, and you'll get the videos. But in the pre-party, we're doing how to price, right? Because a lot of us have a hard time figuring out how to price. And so you will see that in the pre-party emails. You'll have a quick 5-minute video. You'll have all the stuff. And we really go into detail so that even without us, you can just figure this out. But the party is all about having fun. So we put everything into action. And it's not like, hey, I'm going to sit here for 30 minutes and train you. It's like, here's your 5 minutes of what to do, and now let's do it. And that's the best way to learn, rather than practicing on potential clients and then losing them. I always say you need to practice beforehand, right? And we're going to go through that. So we would love to see you guys at this party. It is a superhero party. You don't have to wear a cape. We're actually going to even send you some superhero stuff that you can just put on, or you can just paint your face. It doesn't matter. It's really about getting into the mood and having fun, because business should be fun. That's why you guys join us, because we're weird, we're quirky, it's not like all buttoned up, right? So that's what we do at our party.
Yes, and you guys, we're running out of time, but if you go to our site, you can play the video, check it out, see if you like what you're seeing. But it is really fun, and we don't want that. 3 hours flew by. We had people that were like, no, it's over. It can't be over now. Let's just keep having fun and stay on. So we will have that in the link as well. I'll put it in there right now, and we'll see you guys all next week. We're here every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Is that right? Yep. Yes. I'm looking at my computer going, it says that's, yep, we're good. We'll be here no matter where we are across the country. We will see you guys next week, Friday.
Thank you again, Cindy and Meg. We can't wait for next week, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.